In the northwest corner of the Americas, Alaska is the largest and least populated state in the Union, and home to some of the most awe-inspiring sights you'll ever see. A vast world that's as beautiful as it is wild. Alaska is a natural wonderland, full of rugged mountains, ancient glaciers, roaring rivers, and majestic animals. Although Juneau is the capital city of Alaska and is rich in history, with a population of only 30,000, Juneau has a small town feel. It is surrounded by immense wilderness and has unrivaled access to the backcountry. Monstrous glaciers, endless alpine, and spectacular sunsets. This week on Epic Trails, we're exploring Juneau, Alaska. I'm Eric Hansen. When I see a trail, I see more than a path from point A to point B. A good trail is the ultimate opportunity to explore, to discover new landscapes, and to challenge myself. When I don't have a pack on my back, I'm thinking about my next big adventure, because my mission is simple. My mission is to discover the world's most epic trails. Set on the Gastineau Channel of the Alaskan Panhandle, Juneau is the smallest, but without a doubt, one of the greatest capital cities of North America. Even though it's technically on the mainland, the town is surrounded by mountains, ocean, and ice, and so the only way to get to Juneau is by air or water. As a result, the capital city feels isolated from the rest of society, and far more connected to the natural world on its doorstep. It's not uncommon to see black bears, moose, and eagles on the outskirts of town. Juneau is a fishing town, with its economy closely tied to the rich waters of the Gulf of Alaska and the Bering Sea. It's also a popular tourist destination, with thousands of visitors coming every year to get up close and personal with the local wildlife and towering glaciers. But I'm in Juneau to explore the larger-than-life backcountry that is just beyond the city limits. Since I'm not familiar with the area, I head to a local gear shop called Nugget for one of my favorite parts of any expedition, loading up on supplies and chatting with locals about the best trails and camp spots. Yeah, so do you have a favorite spot? I keep hearing about Mount McGinnis.
There's some good views there, and there's some decent camping, as you can see off. There's some flat places where you can camp there, but kind of in between, it's pretty steep. So It's either you camp at the top or you camp down by where the West Glacier Trail turns off. Yeah.
How do we get to Clark? Basically.
Well, you just, if you went up the tram, you just follow the trail to Mount Roberts.
Yeah.
And then you go from Roberts to Sheep, and then you go down Sheep. You go down and then back up again, it's pretty straightforward. Just down the snow here and back up Clark.
I want a moderate amount of sketchy.
Yeah.
Maybe not too much, but
yeah, this is where it gets a little narrow.
Oh, that looks sketchy.
You get a little bit of this.
Pretty hairy right there.
Yeah, and then the thing below it, it goes 1,000 or so on either side of the saddle below. So.
Well, I think I could pour over maps with you all day.
Yeah.
There's so much to go over. It's amazing. But I think I got to get out of here and hit the trail.
Exactly, yeah.
Thanks so much for giving me the rundown.
You bet. Enjoy.
Sweet.
Enjoy.
Maybe I'll check back in with you at the end.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care.
With more miles of hiking trails than miles of road, the options for adventure around Juneau are seemingly endless. And so, to help me narrow it down, I meet up with local Kara Tetley, who has been exploring the trails around Juneau for years. We decide to keep things simple and serene, with a hike through the rainforest to a remote beach and a great place to camp in Point Bridget State Park. It's not often you get to hike on flat ground in Alaska, and so I'm enjoying the gentle introduction to what I know is going to be a rigorous several days of exploration. Even though this is only my first full day here, I can already tell you that this is the type of place that fills you with wonder, and inspiration is never far away. I love that the people here, like Kara, are so involved and connected with the outdoors. As we set up camp, it feels like all the elements are coming together in surreal fashion. The beach, the mountains, the ocean, and the sunset. It's an inspiring moment and a perfect end to my first day in Alaska.
Just found this really nice dried grasses. Looks like it should be a very promising fire starter. So we've got a spectacular sunset happening right now, and I'm on the beach and it's amazing. The only thing that would make it better is a beautiful fire. So hopefully we'll light it up.
On a night like tonight, it's hard to believe that we're actually in a rainforest. And although I'm sure we'll get our taste of wet weather at some point on this trip, at this very moment, the camping conditions are perfect. And there's simply nowhere else in the world I'd rather be. Alaska's landscape is so wild, vertical, and dominated by ice that roads around here don't go very far. Which means the quickest and by far the most fun way to get around is up in the air. And so I'm meeting up with Jonathan Tuttle of North Star Trekking to fly into the backcountry and check out the 13-mile-long Mendenhall Glacier.
I'm pumped. Yeah, so that's the Mendenhall Glacier out there.
Oh yeah? She's a beauty.
She's a beauty. And we got
up close
Mendenhall River below us here. That's where all the meltwater flows out of it.
Yeah. Oh man, those mountains are spectacular.
Pretty much all the land we're flying over and checking out is part of the Tongass National Forest. This is the largest national forest in the U.S. Also part of the largest temperate rainforest in the world.
Really?
Yeah, Juneau gets around 220 days of precip every year, so you guys are pretty lucky to get a little string here where it's not raining.
I am very excited about getting a little sunshine. Yeah, this is great weather right now.
So yeah, we're gonna land on the glacier today, or check it out, go trekking around, really see some of the cool sights, and then we'll take you guys over to the Blackerby Ridge, one of the most kind of beautiful, iconic ridges in the area. Give you guys a chance to hike off, have your own adventure tomorrow.
Oh man, that will be amazing. So you're just gonna leave us off and just hope we do all right to make our way back?
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Our pilot, Tracy, touches down as we step out onto the ice. I suddenly feel like I've become a tiny speck on a great river of frozen water. As Tracy flies away, I feel a surge of adrenaline in anticipation of the adventure ahead, because exploring a glacier is like discovering another world.
Hell yeah. Let's get after it.
Glaciers are both harsh and beautiful. They provide a glimpse into the world's ancient past, and yet they are constantly changing.
So have you seen the glaciers change since you've been out here?
Quite a bit. I mean, it changes day to day and week to week. It's kind of funny. It is a massive moving sheet of ice, so
Yeah.
We'll set our camp higher up in the year, and as the year goes on, all of a sudden we're quite a bit down.
Really? Jonathan and I just got dropped off here on the Mendenhall Glacier, and he spotted this really awesome ice cave. Looks a little bit narrow, but we're gonna go climb around and see what we can find inside. You lead the way?
Watch your foot. Kind of big step across. Nice.
such a wild place.
A whole different world up here, that's for sure.
Yeah, changes every day.
It's just incredible to see it change day to day, and most of the stuff's here for a week and gone the next week, so kind of sad too to see it melt back. There's been some really incredible features that'll just no longer be there.
It's almost sweet.
Yeah, it's 200-year-old snow melt right there.
200-year-old snow melt. Wow. That's pretty cool.